What's going on, guys? My name is Ted, and today, as promised, I'm bringing you guys a spawn trap for hardcore ricochet domination. And this is a very mean spawn trap. I loved doing this with my friends back when I had my Xbox, and I got a bunch of great gameplays of it. The best thing about this is when you just prestige like I had in this gameplay, and you get so many challenges, just challenge after challenge after challenge. But I need to preface this gameplay by saying this is a spawn trap. And I know a lot of you guys out there just don't like spawn traps. And for those of you guys, completely understand where you're coming from. I've said this in a lot of my videos. I realize exactly where you're coming from, where you hate watching this kind of stuff because you feel it's unfair. And half of me agrees with you, and half of me just says, it's part of the game. But if you don't enjoy this stuff, don't watch it. It's the easiest way I can put it. I do these guides so that people that come to my channel and like to watch this kind of stuff have a chance to. So that's that. Let's move on with the guide first, though. This is 117 kills and I think 8 deaths if I'm not mistaken, and the main point of this guide is to show you how to spawn trap the other guys inside the A domination spawn. So see here we grabbed the C flag and the B flag, which means that their primary spawn will be at the A flag, and this is very important because you want to trap them in a spot that you can easily contain. And with the A flag, it's very special in that there's only one spawn at the A flag, and there's one spawn as long as you plan it right, at least, which I'll get into in more detail later. There's only one spawn and right behind the in the bookstore back there, and you'll see it here in a second. And there's actually a spot of the map that you can shoot through to be able to see through that flag. So let's go ahead and right now we're going down this hallway. This is the main spot. You see right there, as I shoot through that 10, I can actually shoot through directly into the spawn right behind there. And as my teammates are still getting into position, the enemies are running around a little bit. But as we get into a better spawn trap, they're just going to keep spawning behind that 10 door right there. And with marksmen, sometimes you actually see their names through the 10. I don't really understand why that works. But the best thing about this spot is that you can just shoot through this wall continuously, and it really doesn't take much skill at this point. I try to stress a lot of times that spawn tracking takes a lot of skill, and I need to preface that by saying that it takes a lot of skill to start the spawn trap. For my teammates to grab the C flag and the B flag and to push the enemy team into the right spots. It's not just random placement here. I've got each one of my teams at a specific spot. I organize it before the game. I tell one guy to sit at the cockpit, one guy to sit at the bushes in the back, that way they can get all the extra people coming out of A, 2 guys in this main hallway, and 1 guy up top. And it takes us a little while to get into our spots, but once we do, the spawn trap gets going really, really well. Another problem you'll run into is people leaving and joining throughout the game. I think right now we've only got 2 people on the other team, so it gets a little slow-paced here sometimes, but it gives me more time to explain it at least. As people leave and join, the best thing to do when there's only one person on their team is to get in your spots. Don't really worry about that guy too much. Listen for him. If you hear him, go ahead and kill him. But the main thing is when there's only one guy left on their team, you've got freedom around to roam the map and to get in your spots. And it's really, really important. You want to make sure that you can get in your spots and all your teammates can as well. That way when the full team joins again, you're prepared for them and you're just ready to keep shooting through them. And that's the best way to do that. As far as getting the spawn trap going, you want to make sure that you got every guy at their spot. And for me, the best spot I prefer is right down this middle hallway. Sit down prone on the left side of this vending machine right here, and just shoot behind that 10. You're going to shoot about midway up the right panel of 10, and you're going to see that you can shoot right through it. And with the light machine gun, there's 2 reasons why you need light machine guns. The first and most important reason is because it has a 100-round magazine, or I think 150 rounds if you have the extended mag edition attachment onto your light machine gun. That's very important because you don't want to have it so you're shooting 30 rounds and reloading, 30 rounds and reloading. It's much more important, it's much better of an opinion to shoot 150 rounds and reload once as opposed to shooting 30 rounds and reloading 10 times, before you get all those bullets out. Another thing right here you'll see is crowd control. A lot of times people will sidestep the spawns, and my teammates are getting a little too close to the A flag. At this point we didn't have it down to a perfection, so my teammates were going over some of the invisible barriers, and I'll get more on that later on. But basically these invisible barriers are there's certain spots in the game where if you cross them, the spawns will flip. And you see right here the spawns did flip and the enemy team captured the B flag. So we lose a little bit of control here for a little bit. But the main thing about this game that I wanted to demonstrate is that it does not always go as planned. There's a lot of times throughout the game where it simply won't go as planned. You're going to have a lot of frustration, enemies are going to be spawning behind you, and where your teammates are supposed to be guarding, you have to keep your cool. And for me at least, I'm really good at that. I've been dealing with full teams for a long time, and I know how to handle them. And the main thing is to keep your composure and to be a good leader. So if you're the guy that's forming this spawn trap, you're probably going to be the leader because you've been watching my videos. I'm the leader of my team because I've got the YouTube channel. I know a lot about this kind of stuff, and I'm a very good leader. And what I tell my team is never rage, never get to that mode where you're just so frustrated you just run in the enemy spawn and just you'll mess everything up. You won't be an effective team. But see how we held under control. We grabbed the B flag. We didn't do anything crazy. We didn't mess up our whole strategy. Instead, we gathered the B flag, and now we're back down in this middle hallway. And we got a few kills there through the 10. I went ahead and got my specialist bonus. My teammate died behind me. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that, and the guy ended up killing me from behind. But it's just one of those things where, you know, it's a common problem. You're going to die occasionally. You're not always going to get those MOABs instantly, and this isn't a foolproof idea. Spawn trapping is a very learned method, and even this is not the best example of how to spawn trap. I'm sure people out there can go just 250 kills, maybe even 300 kills without even dying by doing this method. If you have a perfect team that knows exactly what they're doing, I'm showing you the average way it's going to go. You're going to get a few kills like this, a few nice streaks by shooting through the wall. And I think right here I actually get a 25-second MOAB. This is where things just go absolutely perfectly for me. Just look at the feeds, the quad feeds. This is what it's at its perfection. This is what I spend the whole time trying to achieve, is this perfect goal right here of just spraying through the wall. And I actually managed to level up. I get a million challenges. I get I get a MOAB after like 25 seconds. This is what a spawn trap is for, and this is what the whole purpose of forming one is for. If you lose composure early on in the game, you're never going to have these moments. If you get so frustrated at that one guy killing you from behind, and you just go and start raging, you're never going to get to this point where you can keep your composure, get the enemy team spawn trapped, and do well throughout the entire game. So we had a rough start. I'd say it took about 5 minutes to get the spawn trap fully working, but from this point on, and from when I got that MOAB, pretty much to the end of the game, I do very, very well, and I don't end up dying very often after this, and we keep the enemy teams trapped in this one spot, and we do very well through the rest of the game because we had good leadership from me, and because we all kept our composure. I had a very good team helping me out. You can't do this with a group of dummies. You really have to have some good teammates, and thankfully I have great friends on my friends list. Any of them that are watching this, that are playing this game, thank you guys. Y'all did a great job, and it's really important to keep that composure. One more thing I'll note about this gameplay is that when you're shooting, you need to have guys at different angles. So not just me in the hallway, because that doesn't really work. If you have just me in the hallway, whenever I reload, those 7 seconds or whatever that I'm reloading for, you've got enemy teams just running wild. You need to have guys at different areas. You'll see I've got a guy over on the left side as well. If you look at my minimap, you see a guy at the left side. He's actually at the staircase that's leading up to the plane, and he's shooting through the back side of that door into the spawn as well. So he's also shooting through a wall, making it so the enemy team can't see him, but he can shoot through the wall because he knows where they're going to spawn at. It's just taking advantage of the spawn system. It's kind of a devilish thing to do, but at the same time it works really well for you, and you do get a lot of kills in the process. This isn't something that I really suggest to people. It's a lot of fun, and I'll rephrase that. It's a lot of fun when it works. I actually found myself being more frustrated than actually having a good time playing this because it was so hard to accomplish. And maybe I didn't have the best team skill. I didn't have the best idea of what was really going on and how to form the best spawn trap. I was just trying my hardest. But it was actually very aggravating to try to pull this off. So I don't suggest just trying this for fun. It is fun when it works, but unless you have a really good team, it can be very frustrating. So in the meantime, I suggest just trying to practice it. Go into private matches. That's the easiest way I found to do it. Just get a few friends, you go into a private match, and see how the spawns work. Go and kill people at different areas and see where they spawn at. It's very, very important. The spawn system in MW3 is very easily taken advantage of, and this goes for every Call of Duty as well. It's a very intricate part of the game. So if you learn the spawn system, you can learn a lot easier how to manage your gunfights, because I see a lot of people, one of the main things I look for in gameplays when I watch people play is not what their kill death ratio is and things like that, but it's how they hold themselves, how they compose themselves. So when I go and watch my buddy play MW3, if I'm watching on his TV, if he goes 30 to 20, and it might not be a very good kill death because he's only got a 1.5 kill death, but if I see him jumping around corners, capturing flags, knowing the spawns, throwing stun grenades, things like that, that's a very tactical way of playing. It's the same thing that you're using here. Although you're spawn trapping, which can be considered a very cheap tactic, and I can see where you're coming from there, you also have to realize that it takes a lot of coordination to get to this point. You need to have a full team, you need to know the right classes, such as the light machine gun class, and just in general, it's very important to have a full strategy laid out ahead of time before you go inside the game. Don't just wing everything when you get inside of it. One last note I'll make about my class is I'm using a L86 LSW, and at this point I don't think I had Overkill unlocked, but it is really important to have Overkill as your secondary perk, and go ahead and throw in like a PKP or an M60 with extended mags as well if you have it. Having a secondary light machine gun is also really important, because let's say you get on a nice streak and you have to reload. Well, it's a lot faster to switch your weapons than reloading, as they always say. So you can switch your weapons and have another 150 rounds sitting there for you. The only problem with that is that when you run out of ammo in that gun, you got to reload twice. So because you got to reload your primary as well as your secondary light machine gun. that's another tip that I can give you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys learned something new. Hope you guys are enjoying some of the spawn trapping videos. I actually have a 500 kill gameplay coming up later on, a 500 kill gameplay. So if you're looking forward to that, be sure to subscribe. I post a lot of high quality content every single day, and the 500 kill gameplay will be posted tomorrow. Actually, not tomorrow, probably later on in the day. I gotta commentate it. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this gameplay, and I'll catch y'all later. Bye.